about 3,000 years just for 1 year to be over. It can feel like the worst time of our lives, and we just want it to be over with. At least that's how my fellow classmates and I have felt. Well, now school is over. Our senior year has come and gone. We're graduating today, right now, and it's finally setting in. We won't be together anymore. No more finding lunch dates together or comparing class schedules. We are all going in different directions. While some are heading to the military and technical schools, others are heading to different colleges or straight into the workforce. We're actually growing up, and that's a scary thought. I didn't think we would ever be ready for the real world, but when I was writing this speech, I realized something. Whether we are ready or not, we are being sucked into the real world. We're the youth, so shouldn't we have time to adjust? The real world doesn't allow adjustments, it takes you head on. But one thing we have to remember is that even though we are young, we can succeed. According to the Apostle Paul in 1 Timothy 4:12, we shouldn't let anyone look down on us because we are young. Age doesn't determine success or what is going to happen to you as life goes on. We are so close to entering the real world, so many things could go wrong, but I have this gut feeling that we'll make it. I also have this gut feeling that we could all be millionaires, so I might not be the most reliable source, but we'll never know unless we try. My cousin Shane always told me, don't knock it till you try it. With that being said, we are graduating high school, and we will try out this grown-up stuff. If it doesn't work out, we always have each other, our families, and God looking out for us. This speech might not have made a lot of sense, but if you get anything out of what I just said, families, just know that we will be okay. We've been together forever, but we can make it on our own. We're tough like that. But on another note, to the parents and families, if you really are worried about us, we do accept gift cards to places such as Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. That way you'll know we aren't starving. Thank you.
In town. Dalen is the son of Mitch and Carrie Town. Upon graduating, Dalen will be attending the University of Missouri-Columbia and majoring in computer science.
So this is weird. We're all here in dresses, and we're pretending we're happy. Some of us might be a little bit on the surface at least, but there's definitely this kind of sadness over all of it. I'm not really a podium guy. All right. Yeah. So I'd like to thank Dr. Ritter for letting me up here to talk to you guys. Speaking of which, I had to read this speech to Dr. Ritter yesterday, so he could ensure that the speech was okay, but for him, unfortunately for him, I can say whatever I want. I have a microphone, I have all the power. I didn't read this part for him at all. So, yeah, this could get crazy. Yeah. Anyway, this is the end of our high school career, and it's filled with sadness, like I said. I'm supposed to give a speech now that's optimistic and compelling, and yet these next few hours are going to be tear-filled at best and depressing at worst. Most of us are going to cry, and I could lie to you about how we shouldn't cry because we should be happy with the memories we have, but I've heard this quote by Kurt Vonnegut, one of my favorite writers. He said, "Laughter and tears are both responses to frustration and to exhaustion. I myself prefer to laugh, since there's less cleaning up to do afterward." So that's it. When you hear yourself about to cry, make a decision to laugh, just because it's easier in the long run. Just practical. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, or I'll talk, you guys listen. This is probably the most uncomfortable and awkward that I've ever felt in my life. And I'm an expert on discomfort and awkwardness. Regardless, here we all are, and I don't know what any of you people want from me. So I'm just going to talk for a bit. If I make a point, that's great. If I don't, that's fine too. I think at this point in the speech, most people like to tell stories about growing up with friends and about crazy hijinks that the class got up to. Unfortunately for everyone here, I don't really have many stories. I thought about making some up, just so this would feel like a real speech and not just like me rambling at you all, but I thought better of it. I don't really remember specific events that well, but I do remember people. I remember the ways I felt about every one of you people. I remember hating Tanner when he was a new kid here in like 4th grade because the girl I had a crush on at the time said that she thought he was cute. And I guess some things don't change. I remember being 5 years old and having to leave the babysitter that Sharon and I went to because kindergarten was starting. I cried. I remember how horrified I was that I wasn't going to see her every day. Stop it, seriously. I remember getting a locker next to Brett just because our last names were right next to each other alphabetically. That was it. A friendship born out of convenience. I didn't have to leave my locker to talk to him, and that seems to have worked out okay. I remember meeting Bailey in kindergarten and liking her because she had the same name as my dog. That's kind of fitting now, knowing her interests and her plans in the future. And although the dog's gone now, Bailey should be around for a while longer. I remember writing several issues of a comic book with Colton about, I think it was about our class's pet hamster Izzy in 4th grade. I wrote the dialogue because in 4th grade I was like a literary genius. Colton did all the illustrations because he's a natural born artist. Our hamster Izzy had superpowers and he saved the world a handful of times. I never thanked Mrs. Lasswell for indulging us every time we gave her an issue to read, but thanks for that. I remember being 12 or 13 years old. We went to Hooters for Rocky's birthday party. I kind of felt like guys, 12 or 13, yeah. I'm secure enough with myself now to admit that I didn't really get the whole Hooters thing at the time, which is probably for the best, I guess. More recently, I bonded with Presley over our love, I guess, of red pandas. Lots of pictures we looked at. And I bonded with Araya over my love of my obsession with baby sloths. More recently again, around the time we were starting to drive, I remember Dakota, while he was driving with me, he would force me to take the wheel from him while he was driving, just because he knew how much I hated it. This happened more than one time. Never not funny. Never not fun. Haley, it's not Haley, it's Ham. Your name's Ham. You've always been gullible. Always. That's great. That's one of the things about you, and it always has been. We all love that about you, so you can't change that ever. Okay. Krista has been there for me since we became teenagers. She's like a mom to some of us, willing to open ourselves up to her. I've probably been more honest with her about some things than I have been with anyone else in the world. Ashley, Ash, we make fun of you, but I really admire how fully and completely you believe in things and how hard you're willing to work just to do what you want to see done. You should be the one giving this speech. You're much harder worker than I am. I remember when I used to play basketball. That's it. I don't really remember anything about it. I just want everyone to know that I tried basketball. I understand how tall I am, right? I tried it. It wasn't for me. So if you could pass that along to any adults that I haven't seen in a while, I'd appreciate that. These memories are all very personal to me, but that's not really the point I'm trying to make. If I didn't say something specific about you, it's not because I don't have any thoughts about you. I'm just trying to say that every one of us has a memory just like these about every other person in our class. You all remember something about me, and I remember something about each of you. I was trying not to get too emotional or personal about any of this sharing. I can't give a personal story about most of you or I'll cry. And I was recently given some advice about crying by my college algebra teacher at State Fair, Jake. He said, don't cry in college. Just don't. We're not in college yet though, so here's an emotional-ish one. I remember the day I had this realization that our big group of seniors and friends had split into a few smaller groups. And I remember not really understanding that or liking it much at all. And I still don't care for it. We were all friends, we grew up together. We all made impacts on each other, and that's not something easily forgotten. Love is a scary word, but I truly do love all of you guys. Even the ones I haven't made a point to hang around with much, it's not because I don't like you. Again, it's just I'm not very social as a person. If there's anything worth learning, I've taken from my high school life in high school is that there aren't a lot of things that are black and white. There's so much gray area. Graduating isn't 100% good or 100% bad, it just is. It is, and that's weird. I guess some of the math and English and other subjects or whatever were worth learning too. I adore you people, some more than others, you know who you are. I adore all of you that I want to miss you. We've had a good run together, but it's time for each of us to go off onto our own adventures. Thanks.
Galen, I would like to say thanks for not running up to the top row again this year. I'm excited to introduce this year's graduation faculty speaker.